very quickly though, optional national service and then public scrutiny of contracts. 1 minute. What can you give me on that?
So, the national service part of his submission is not well thought through. We should rather strengthen national service. I even want to, if you look at the national service law, the first 6 months should even have been compulsory military training. And I think that we should go to that. If you have a situation as we have now, where the unemployment rate is at an all-time high, according to the population housing census, about 13.6%, almost 4%, 14%, you need to, national service serves as an employment absorption opportunity. I'm getting the sense that what Bawumia is doing really is that he wants to save national resources. He doesn't want to pay national service people. But you see, this is a government that has a reputation.
But you're pushing them into companies. The companies will pay them.
Of wasting money. Even where they carry out savings, they will spend it on themselves. You know, if it's not on chartered travels, it will be on, you know, fanciful projects, you know, like the President's Cathedral. So it doesn't make sense to me. When you have high unemployment, the national service scheme, it helps to introduce, look, a lot of employers still demand work experience. They want to be sure that you've had some training, some grooming, some nurturing in the corporate environment. So it is not well thought out. Let's keep the national service. It helps to absorb, soak up the pressure. And there are many people who tell you that the jobs that they find themselves in now is national service that gave them the opportunity. So after national service, when employers are impressed, they then retain them.
But the same could be said for, instead of going through the service, if an institution, I mean, I know those who way back went to the Unilevers and the rest and the other big shots today. It's the same thing. So if you can get in there and still learn the ropes while you're there,
yeah, but how do you get in there? When there is a law being implemented that is compulsory, you must have room for national service.
So he's saying he wants to make it optional. That's what he's saying.
No, it won't work.
Public scrutiny of contracts.
It's not in the interest of the youth.
Public scrutiny of contracts.
Yes.
Is it feasible? Is it doable?
It should have been done long ago.
Right.
It should have been done long ago. And tomorrow I'll be putting out some interesting exposés.
Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
On what specifically?
On why the government hasn't done this. It should have been done long ago. There's really,
so this expose, what will it border on?
It will border on. It will be about what people are getting away with the lack of scrutiny of contracts, and people
will a future NDC government be willing to go down that road?
Who are close to certain key persons in this government, and you see how we are not getting value for money, how this country is being raped.
So others may be doing it. Would a future NDC government be willing to go down that same road?
Yeah, it has to be done.
Public scrutiny of contracts.
It has to be done. It has to be done. Everything must
If you're sole sourcing, we know.
Yes.
Whatever it is,
exactly,
we know.
Exactly. It has to be done. It has to be done. And you see, it is a shame that the people who said that, and President Akufo-Addo put out a tweet, Dr. Bawumia did same, when they were campaigning, and said that, look, with too much sole sourcing or single sourcing in this country, that era is coming to an end. They come to power, and recently I intercepted all the procurements that this Bank of Ghana era under Dr. Addison has done. Will you believe that not one of their procurements have been competitive? Not one.
How many procurements are we looking at?
Single source.
About how many procurements are we looking at?
Single source procurements. About 20. And all of them
sole sourced.
All of them sole sourced, including the Bank of Ghana project.
Building, the $250 million.
Yes, we started at $81 million. You know, restrictive tendering and single sourcing. That's all they are doing.
Is there not something against that when it comes to a project that balloons by over 60%?
Yes, it's a violation of the law. You should have, re-awarded the whole thing, cancelled that whole, tender. That's what the law says. They didn't respect it. So, look, many people are going to face the music when the NDC comes to power. People have questions to answer. Look, there's so many people who
wait till you get there. Wait till you are in power and wait till you do it, because you parliamentarians and presidential candidates, you have the tendency of doing this, but when you get there, it's a different ball game. They say, "Dukadaya," you are all the same, and you make one promise, "Oh, we'll come and we'll imprison and we'll see nothing." So get there and do it, and then maybe that is if you get there.
Yeah,
then maybe we can take
no problem, no problem. But you see, when you make the statement that all the politicians are the same, I really take a strong exception to that.
But there's ample proof to that.
We are not all the same.
There's ample proof.
We are not all the same.
But let's make tracks.
Just assess us based on our track record, on what we are doing.
In the next few minutes, I really have to run. I've already. But I just wanted you to, at least this goes back to Parliament, the anti-gay bill was the latest on it, GRA and SML, and all this in some 2 minutes. The National Cathedral. If there are any new developments you can share with us.
Okay.
So the GRA, they asked you for an apology at some point. You never got to that.
Yes. So let me begin with the GRA if you want to.
So it must be really bite-sized, eh?
Yes. So the GRA, I responded that they won't get an apology. Everything I put out.
Saw that. Yes. I saw that response.
Yes. Everything I put out was factual. The fact of the matter is that at the time that they announced that it was going to be a probe, the Commissioner General had long absconded. What the GRA...
We are still looking forward to the KPMG report.
Yes.
And then Parliament is supposed to get it.
Yes, and Parliament will also be probing that.
When will this happen?
Any month from now, it's going to start. The Finance Committee will be doing that any month from now.
All right. Anti-gay bill.
And then I must add on GRA that this GRA chap is in office illegally. And you
mean Reverend Dr. Amisha Dai is in office illegally?
Illegally.
Because the contract was not extended.
He doesn't have a contract, and the earlier he's booted out, the better. And you stop signing all these illegal contracts. So we're looking forward to the probe in Parliament. Let me add that on the matter to do with the National Cathedral, many people probably have forgotten that the President promised us and promised the Almighty that the project will be commissioned on the 6th of March this year. It's a few weeks away. Yeah. The project remains abandoned, and it was bound to face all of these, if you like, horrible outcome because of the massive diversions that took place. I mean, the 339 million Ghana cedis of our taxes. First of all, we were told that taxpayer funds will not be used. Don't forget that. They said that this will be a private initiative led by the churches and the president's personal donations, only for a discovery to be made by me that apparently on our blind side, on the blind side of Parliament, Ken Oforiatta, in collusion with the president, they were siphoning public funds for this project. And when we had a vote of censure committee and we asked them for the full breakdown of releases, 339 million. And that 339 million, David Ajayi alone took 130 million. It doesn't happen anywhere in project management. I mean, it defies industry standards. It doesn't happen anywhere. 339 million, one man takes 130 million. Carrie Summers is keeping $6 million in the States. When I went after him, I found out that, look, he is no CEO of any Nehemiah group. He is in some ramshackled warehouse, you know. I mean, it's incredible. You know, and then you have the secretary, the double identity scandal that came up. You don't know
Reverend Kusibuati.
Or Kwabena Edu-Jemfi. You know, it's just a mess.
Anti-gay bill. When can we expect something?
I'm not surprised that
we have to go.
Key prominent clergymen have left the board. The latest being Archbishop Duncan Williams and Reverend Isud Anaba. I'm glad that they have
the anti-gay bill. When can we expect anything? Let's go. We have to go.
Expect it's possible that by Friday it can be passed this week. It's really because a lot of the work has been done. And it's really possible that by Friday it can be passed. And then I'm surprised. I must be honest with you that the vice president hasn't said a word about it. We don't know his position on this matter. This is a very important matter. And this is somebody who's been caught on tape claiming to be, such, an Islamic cleric and giant, and he's coming for Muslims, and yet we can't take his view about such
we're going now. I'll just take.
It's disappointing.
This one comment from an academic, a former vice chancellor. He sent in some messages. He says, "What happened to the personal and institutional contributions and donations? UTAG and of various campuses, which I belong to, made significant contributions. I told him that you had mentioned that UGBS and others, I mean the MEPE project. And he also says, okay, so maybe
and I think we also have to clarify that the list I put out was those who supported the building project. Of course, there are more than 200 institutions, corporate Ghana foundations who came in to support with relief items, food, clothing, blankets.
All right, so all of those are in there.
That's a different.
I'll not mention his name, but he says you are progressive and he likes you. That's what he says. Thank you very much for joining us for breakfast this morning.
Thank you.
And this has been the Member of Parliament in the studio with us, Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, discussing issues of national scope with us. But do stay with us because the Save Ghana football demonstration is happening today. Are you going to join the sports people?
Yes, I'll be at the front precincts of Parliament to receive the petition. I'm in full support.
You will be receiving the petition?
The petition, yes.